How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is part 2 of the stuck at home order, cleaning up the cars, Camaro time style with some of my favorite products. And today we're going to be working on this dirty girl, and as you can see, she is very dirty. Like I said, we've had 3-4 weeks of rain. I mean, nothing but rain. Look at all this. Everything's all dried out. Crap everywhere, crap on this, pollen everywhere. Wheels are extremely dirty, as you can see. Just a total mess. This is not Camaro time style, so we're going to fix that. We've already taken care of old red out there. Now we're going to take care of this old girl. So let me show you what we're going to be using today. This one's going to be a little bit different than yesterday. Now before you is a group of stuff that I'm going to be using today. Some I used on the red car yesterday, some of it I didn't. Of course I have my brushes, getting in the wheel wells, the barrels of the wheels, the tires, lug nuts, and of course my wash mitt, my bucket. And I actually use 2 buckets. I use that one for the body, and then I take that water and dump over into that one and use that one for the tires and wheels, so I'm not cross-contaminating, getting anything on the black car, on the paint. And I'm going to be using the same soap because this is one of my favorites. There's another one that I've used and I'm out of, and I'm not going to mention it because I don't have it for the camera and I'm not using it, so that's not what this video is about. But as you can see by the red car out there, woo, everything I'm using is working. And most of this, like I said, you can get at your local Vance Auto, AutoZone, places like that. And the other stuff, I'll put the links below to where you can get them. Again, I'm going to be using Dyno Wax tire dressing because that is one of my favorites. It goes on, it flashes instantly dry, and it's a matte finish. It's not real shiny and it's not real dull. The heavy duty wheel cleaner by Griot's Garage, because I try to protect my wheels the best I can, and I know that this is safe and it works wonders. This is actually VRP mixed 5-to-1, 5 parts water to 1 part VRP. That's going to be for the engine bay if I get around to it. Then today we're going to be using the spray on wax by Griot's Garage because it goes on super easy. It helps dry the water beads off, it helps dry the water spots off, it gives extra protection, all that great stuff. So yeah, we're going to be using that as a drying aid. For plastics and rubbers, we're going to be using the trim serum. I've used that. I used that on the red car. Works really great. And for the cowl, there's a lot of little nooks and crannies that it's really hard to get to even with this small sponge. So I'll be using In and Out spray by Adams. This stuff works really good. You spray it on, and anything that's not plastic or rubber, you just wipe it right off. It comes right off. But that's going to be for the hard to reach stuff, or the stuff that's really a pain in the butt to get. Like I said, anything that's not plastic or rubber, it wipes right off. So that's the basic stuff we're going to be using today. That's my favorites for today. Let's get to it and I'll show you how easily it works. Now, I normally pre-soak my car with just water and let it loosen the dirt up and everything. But with this particular brand of wheel cleaner, they actually want you to do the tires and wheels first. So we're going to go ahead, they want you to let it set for about 5 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and spray everything down really good with the wheel cleaner. And we'll mix up some water in just for the wheels and the floor mats. About out, so I'm going to have to buy another thing of this before long. Stuff works great. Doesn't have a bad smell. It's not a great smell, but it is not a bad smell. So we'll let that sit for a minute or two while we mix up our water. Now typically, like I say, I would use the blue bucket, get the body, then I come back and get the wheels last. That's just my preference. That's how I've always done it, so that we're getting the dirt going down rather than getting the dirt going up. That way we don't track any of the dirt down here up there. But with that said, I'm going to use this bucket to go ahead and get my tires, wheels, and fender wells, and then dump it out and start a new bucket just for the paint. Not quite there yet. It's starting to turn purple, but it hasn't really turned purple yet, so we'll give that a few more minutes. Something else I wanted to show you. These cars with this big old window has this water track right here, and as you can see, crap just constantly congregates there, and it's full of pollen too. So one of the things we're going to do that I didn't show you the brush for, I will be using like a parts cleaner brush or a old worn out toothbrush plus the rag to get down there and get that, and to get this right here, because that's all pollen too. But it'll be totally different when we get there. I'll show you. Well, there she is. She's starting to look more like Camaro time standards. But we're not done yet. Look at all those water spots. All that water beading and stuff on there. We got to get rid of that. And just spraying it only creates more, as you can see. So what are we going to do to cure that? Well, first off, we're going to take the head off of the water hose and do what's called a, I guess it would be called a waterfall or a water sheet or water window, whatever you want to call it. Because what that does, that's why they use it at a lot of the automatic car washes, because the sheeting water that comes down on the car knocks most of those water spots off, which I will show you, and then the blower at the end has less work to have to do. Therefore your car comes out looking better. And then we're going to hit it with the spray wax and the drying towel, and then we'll move on to the next part. Let me get you down here where you can see. As you can see, just by the simple action of doing this, watch how few water droplets you have now to dry off of that back window. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. That cuts your drying time in half. Look at it. It's just, all of it's disappearing. It's a wonder. And then you just do the whole car like that. Come back and you have less drying time. Alright, I've already got the engine bay just squirted down, not drenched, just squirted down. And I'm going to take a combination of this brush, my rag, my tire brush and everything, and just work these nooks and crannies. Alright, now we've got everything hit with the brush and everything. Just put it on spray and lightly rinse it off. Like I said, don't drench anything, just wet it enough to get everything off of it, and you're good to go. Now you crank it up and let it run for a few minutes. But as you can see, we now got the windshield wet again in the front half of the car, so now we got to dry it. Well, while we dry that, let's let it run so it can dry itself off. Oh yeah. Now as for the engine, I got it all dried off pretty much now, but it doesn't have to be dry. Matter of fact, the wetter it is, the better it is, because this will mix with the water and level off. But I wanted to go ahead and make sure it was going to run okay and not have any issues. But you see how much better it looks now compared to what it did. But all you got to do with this stuff, anything that's plastic or anything you want coated, made it look nice, just spray it on. And like I said, it'll level itself off. Won't hurt anything, just spray it on everything. It'll level itself out as it runs and dries. As you can see, I pretty much got everything covered. So now all we have to do is just drop the hood and let it dry. It looks like crap, I know, but trust me, when we come out tomorrow, it will look like a brand new engine. I know, right now you're saying, well, what about this? It don't look bad. No, it does look bad, but I'm still gonna get it, because out in the sun, I know it looks real gray. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a trim serum for this part on the wipers, and then I will lift the hood again and I'll show you how to get the cowl. As you can see, what a major difference, but I still have to get the bottom of it. And about now you're asking, how am I going to spray this and all that without getting it all over everything? Let me show you something about the wipers. First thing you want to do is lift them up, right? Come in the car. Switch car on. Turn the wipers on real low. And when they get where you want them, shut them off. And that's all there is to it. Alright, next up is the Adams in and out spray. This stuff is great, and I'll show you why here in a second, but this will not stick to anything that is not plastic or rubber. So when I spray this on, I can let it sit for just a second and come back and wipe it off. But here's how we're going to get this. Spray it on just like I spray paint. And if it gets on anything, just don't worry about it. Like I said, we can come back and wipe it right off. Once we get that, we can lift the hood and get the rest of it. Now we take a dry rag and wipe it off. It's supposed to be a microfiber, but I don't have one handy at this second, so we're just going to use a dry rag. And as you can see, it comes right off as promised. Just go over till you're happy and then move on to the next part. Anything that's not plastic, it doesn't stick to it. Now we can lift the hood and get under here. Stuff works great for around stuff like this because it takes forever to get that with that little sponge. Ask me how I know. And with this, you can just spray it right on. I'll come back with a brush later on and get all that stuff out. And that is all there is to it. Just a few chemicals and a little bit of time. And your car can, I'll show you the outcome here in just a second. But with a few chemicals and a little bit of time, and elbow grease, you can make your car look really good, especially in this time when we're stuck at home. Like I said in part 1, you know, we're all at home, so why not do the house cleaning, do the yard work, get everything caught up, and get those cars looking really good, because they've been sitting out there through the winter months. Now they've had all this pollen and stuff on it. Oh, they are so filthy. I know they are, because mine are. So you get out there and clean yours. And you know what I always say, get out there and enjoy your ride. Doesn't matter what you're doing to it. I really enjoy doing this. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Take care.